Brooklyn Brothers Sports Talk. Forget about it. Oh!
Lock and load.
Welcome, everybody, to Brooklyn Brothers Sports Talk with the Sage Brothers. I'm Rick.
I'm Ed. From the borough to the big leagues.
We're your brothers in sports talk. All right, everybody, we're going to be talking about the Major League Baseball. We're going to update basically our early predictions. I know it's too early, but we're going to give you our opinions on the 2025 MLB season. But before we do that, we got a word from our sponsor, the Tilted Trailer, for those inclined to tow. Contact Scott, the owner, for your trailer towing needs, and go to thetiltedtrailer.com, and don't forget to use promo code Brooklyn Brothers. All right, so let's get on with the show today.
Today we're going to start. I'm going to start off here the show with the National League division winners and wild cards. I know we're only in spring training, but we're going to give you our. Things can change. We know it's only spring training just started, but we're going to give you an early thing. Things can change, and I'm going to start with the division winners. At the NL East, I got the New York Mets. Huge signing, getting Alonso back. He's going to add some thump to that lineup. 1 through 9, they're going to be very stacked. Their bullpen's pretty good, and I think the starters are going to hold up. And I think, if they need some starters, we got Uncle Steve to go out there and get some big starters for us at the trade deadline if we need them. I got the Dodgers winning the West. That's like a given. Very stacked team. Probably go back to the NL championship game again. And
right.
Here's my super pick for the Central. I'm going with the Cubs. The Chicago Cubs have added Kyle Tucker, big bat, one of the best hitters in baseball. I know that you could say it's a win-win for the Cubs, being that they got Tucker and they gave away Bellinger, and he went over to the Yankees. But I'm going with the Cubs as the Central winner. My wild card picks, you have to go with the Phillies. They're stacked. 1 through 5 is starter pitching. Question mark is probably their bullpen. Hitting, they got the hitters there. I'm going to D-backs. D-backs I'm going with, great pickup. Burns, solid starter. They won't beat out the Dodgers, but they'll make the wild card. And my third and final pick as far as the wild card for the National League, the Braves are on the chopping block. The Braves are out. I'm putting the Padres in there, sneaking in there.
I definitely agree with you on that. The Braves, losing Max Fried to the Yankees, and they just didn't really do anything to shore up their pitching staff. So you're right. Braves on the chopping block, and the Padres making a few moves will probably squeak in for the wild card. Now, moving on to the American League, my division winners, of course, in the American League East, I have my beloved Yankees winning the division. Central, believe it or not, I got the Twinkies coming up because they're young and hungry, overtaking the Guardians. And then I have in the West, I got the Rangers because of the pitching duo of DeGrom and Eovaldi. That's going to be a strong, formidable pitching staff. So the Rangers and a lot of parity in this league. The West, anybody really can. There's like 3 teams that can fight it out. Houston lost some players. Lost Bregman, they didn't sign him. Looks like Seattle, Houston, Texas. They basically all paired pretty evenly, but I think the Rangers, because of DeGrom and Eovaldi, will take that division. Now, my wild cards in the East, I have the Red Sox because of the signings they had. So they're going to be a team that the Yankees are going to have to look over their shoulder and worry about. They signed Walker Buehler, Garrett Crochet, and Patrick Sandoval, so they have really good pitching. In the Central, like I said before, the Guardians are going to be the wild card. They're a playoff team, so I expect them to be back in it. And believe it or not, in the West, like I said, it's just a toss-up, but I'm going to go with the Mariners as a wild card team. They should squeak in because it's kind of a crappy division. The West is really weak. But getting back to those wild card teams, the one that scares me the most, of course, are the Red Sox. They just signed Bregman to 3 years, $120 million. Like I said earlier, Walker Buehler, Garrett Crochet, Patrick Sandoval, they got a strong pitching staff. Lucas Giolito, who was hurt all of 2024, and Hendricks as well. They'll be back, and that's going to fortify their pitching staff. Their bullpen is really strong. And don't forget the ex-Yankee, Aroldis Chapman, he's signed as their closer. So those are the pitching staff They kind of worry me. They kind of look a little better than the Yankees pitching staff. A lot of people are picking the Yankees as well as I am. But Baltimore didn't do too much. They're a young team, hungry team, but they're kind of a weak, they're a weak opponent. They didn't make any big impact signings to overtake the Red Sox. So I'm going to go with the Red Sox as the wild card, and a possibility of overtaking the Yankees in that division. I hate to say it as a Yankee fan, but bullpen strong. Bregman signing on. Great pitching staff. The guys who are hurt are coming back. That really solidifies the Red Sox.
Here's my take on. I'm going to give you a National League team to look at. Why I put them on the chopping block this year. The Atlanta Braves. They've been strong for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to be there in the wild card, or for the most part, I'd say winning the division. But if you look at them as a whole, the reason why I have them out and on the chopping block, not making the playoffs this year. Yes, they got some strong starters, and Chris Sale, great starter last year, but as you can tell, year in and year out, there's always an injury occurring with him, and again, there's a lot of uncertainty there. If he stays healthy, plus for the Braves. But Lopez, good pitcher. They got the second-year man Swellenbach and Ian Anderson, but they're not able to replace Max Fried, who went to the Yankees, and they might be starting the season with Strider on the DL. So you're talking about 2/3 of the starting pitching out, one injured and one they lost to free agent. They should have went out there and made a big splash in the starting market. Their bullpen is kind of iffy. They did lose Minter to the Mets, which was a huge loss. All right, and then I'm looking at also as far as hitting. They still got all the hitters. They really haven't made any strength to their bench. They did lose a backup catcher, Darnold. He signed with the Los Angeles Angels, so that's a big loss there. So all in all, that's why I have the Braves on the chopping block. And I know these Brave fans will be disappointed, but I see them looking on the outs this year. I don't see them making the playoffs.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, the Cubs, you're right. That's a team that's it's scary. You never know. I mean, I think the Cubs are going to make the playoffs, even as a wild card.
I got them as division winning the division.
Okay. I mean, that's why I say it's a little scary. You don't really know. I mean, listen, it's our opinion, so who knows?
Look at the teams they're competing against. The Cubs, for instance, talking about the Central. The Reds made a few upgrades on their roster. Nothing really to write home about. They didn't get that starting bulldog that they needed to maybe to lead these rookies along the way with their starting pitching. The Reds, they really haven't got too many guys. The only thing I looked at is that as far as the Cardinals as well, they lost quite a few key guys, and they still haven't got rid of Arenado, which is surprisingly. Everybody had him out, but they're asking too much. So I like the Cubs. I think the Cubs made the most moves in the Central. Again, you got the Cardinals, no moves really whatsoever.
Yeah, they're done.
Looks like they're getting young. They didn't spend any money in the offseason. Not major upgrades in the starting rotation. And again, like I said, what we're looking at the Cubs, I guess, like I said, the Cubs taking division. And I think if you look at it also, the Brewers, they traded their closer to the Yankees. Nothing really. They're not going to have any, again, my opinion, not a strong bullpen. They lost a lot of guys. They're another team that lost their all-star shortstop. I'm going with the Cubs.
Right. Who's taking over for Devin Williams? They do have another guy in pitching staff. Middle reliever is going to take over for a closer. What's his name again?
Well, I think they're going to try. Last reports were they're looking like might be going into spring training with not really nobody penciled in as far as the closer role for the Brewers. But they have a young guy they got from the Yankees, Durbin, and he might be a spot starter, bullpen guy. But the lefty guy, what was the Yankees guy? The lefty guy the Yankees traded to the Brewers?
What, Cortez?
Yeah. He's not really major. He had a bad year last year for the Yankees. I don't see him stepping up for the Brewers. Brewers rotation, this is St. Louis Burns. I know that they were a surprise team last year, but where they're going to replace Adames, there's all-star shortstop who went to sign with the Giants. How are they going to replace him? You're talking about 30 home runs.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that didn't make a splash, and it's like, a lot of teams need things, and they just I don't know if they're just sitting back. Are they going to take a year off? They're going to collect some luxury tax money. Who knows? You know, some of these owners are pikers, you know? Remember we talked about that? A bunch of pikers in the MLB ownership.
You know, the Pikers have it that the Cardinals and the, you know, again, the Brewers, no major upgrades. That's why I'm going with the Cubs. The Cubs, the only team that really made some splashes this offseason as far as dipping in the free agency market, trading for Kyle Tucker, strengthening the bullpen. I really like the Cubs. There's no way I can see the Cardinals or the Brewers coming out of it. And that's why I think the Brewers and the Cubs, the Cardinals and the Brewers having maybe close to 500 records.
You want to talk about anything? You want to give your opinion on World Series now, or do you want to just wait till a couple episodes into the season to spring training?
Again, this is premature. These are
premature, but you know it's always fun to play around.
Yeah, these are preseason, so to speak. You know, nationally division winners and wild cards. We all know things can change. Major news coming about. Oh, I wanted to mention that the Angels finally, Jansen is finally the former closer for the Red Sox. He had signed with the Angels, and Mike Trout is now moving to right field. In case you didn't know
that. Yeah, he's injury prone, so he wants to save himself.
They want to take it easy on his body this year. Hopefully. And what else is new? Rendon's out almost out for the year. I think there's reports out there Rendon's out.
We can make a lot of money on that guy. Just better for him to be out for the season, man.
Yeah, and Machado, a free agent from the White Sox, former Red Sox prospect, is now going to be looks like the starting third base for the White Sox. for the Angels.
Angels, right?
Yeah. So all in all, you know, again, I'm going to.
How about your Mets? You forgot to mention your Mets.
Oh, I mentioned my Mets. I said Alonso was a huge signing. Soto's going to have protection 1 through 9. You look at his lineup. Tell me his lineup. You got Lindor batting first, Soto batting second, Alonso batting third, Nimmo fourth, right? And then you're going to Ventro's at batting fifth. Then you got they're saying Alvarez batting sixth. And then they got I think they're going to go with McNeil batting seventh. And then they have I know Sherry's batting ninth. And then they have what's his name batting eighth. Yeah. So all in all, the Mets 1 through 9.
Top 5 guy, 1 through 5 is really good.
The DH spot is going to be looks like, according to reports, it's going to be like righty lefty, Winkler, and Marte. So they'll probably be batting 7 holes, switching back and forth.
7 and 8, yeah.
But pretty stacked. The only thing I'd say is the Mets should maybe make one more move for starting rotation. There's talk out there, talking with the Padres for Dylan Cease, but they want an arm and a leg. So I think the Mets are done as far as free agency.
Right.
As of now. But
well, my Yankees, you know, I'm really disgusted because they didn't get anybody to replace anybody for third base. Third base is still a problem. I know you talked about Arenado before, but I mean, you gotta make a move. I really thought they would get Bregman. I really, in my heart, believed they wouldn't care about giving away prospects. But I guess prospects only as good as what they're worth. Right now, prospects to me, yeah, you have a worth. They're going to keep a young minor league system going. But the Yankees are built for now. You lost Soto to the Mets, right? So I don't know. They needed somebody there to solidify the offense in the infield. Even though they got Goldschmidt for first base, I'm just worried about the corner, you know? One side of the corner is okay, but the other side isn't. I don't know. I'm confused about the infield anyway. I really don't know who's going to play third base. I don't have any trust in anybody on the Yankees. You know, put some young guy in there from minor league. I mean, you could do that in the beginning. You want to give maybe a game or two away in the beginning with a couple errors here and there. I think Yankees going to make a lot of errors in the infield. I don't feel comfortable with that. I still think they need. I mean, the bullpen's pretty good. Starting pitching's good. I would like another, you know, I don't know, Stroman. I don't know what the hell to do with that guy. I would trade some donuts or something like that.
They said he don't want to go to the bullpen. He told the Yankees, "I'm not going to the bullpen. I want to be a starter." So there's already some friction there, like over there in Fenway in Boston. Devers again. There was a press conference, spring training. They're talking. They interviewed Devers, and he was saying, "I'm not moving off third. I don't want to play DH." And the managers came out and said that he said that they're going to try. You know, Bregman and him playing both looking to play third base. But, you know, Bregman's an all-star third base with Gold Glove.
Right. How could you not put him out? They just signed him 3 years, $120 million.
Yeah, and plus, Devers is being very selfish. I know that he's
You know what you do with him? You maybe give Bregman some rest days. You put him out there. You know what? You don't like it? Too bad. Then you sit. Sometimes you got guys. It's cancer. I know, but it's a cancer to the team. If he thinks I'm great and I don't want to DH, what are you going to do with him? You sign Bregman. Maybe Bregman will be a nice guy and say, you know what? There's all this platoon a little bit. I could be DH. You saved me from. But he's another guy. You think he's going to want to sit?
Bregman's an all-star third baseman. He's
right.
Not.
So okay. So then what?
Devers is going. At the end of the day, Devers will come to his senses and say, you know what? It's about the team, not about Devers. It's about the team. They know they're way better defensively with Bregman. He's an all-star third baseman. So there goes the end of that conversation.
Yeah, winners is always a remedy. If they win, they overtake the Yankees. Then Devers is a happy little. I might even say the word. He's a happy guy,
On the pond, a quick update. The Swedes are beating USA, but USA is still playing. Is already in the gold medal game
again.
Finals,
right? They're in the finals.
Yeah, but right now the USA is losing 2-1 to Sweden.
As of 10:20 p.m. Eastern, yeah, they're losing 3. What was the score?
2-1 Sweden with 12 minutes left.
I got plenty of time. They could tie the game, bring overtime. I mean, they must have left everything out in Canada because they got booed the national anthem, the American national anthem, which I think is pathetic. They got to become the 51st state now.
Yeah, Canada's gonna be 51st soon.
Or actually 51st and 52nd because you got to keep it even.
Yeah, and also one last thing before we wrap things up. Let's just give them one more go. Again, division winners: Mets, Cubs in the Central, Dodgers in the West. My wild cards: Phillies, D-backs, and Padres.
Okay, in my American League East, Yankees are winning the division. The Central, I got the Twinkies. And, of course, in the West, I got the Rangers because of DeGrom and Eovaldi. And, of course, in East, the wild card, we have the Red Sox because of Simon Bregman and all the pitching staff, strong bullpen. Central, I got the Guardians because they are a playoff team, so they're going to win at least the wild card and make it back to the playoffs. And, of course, the West is trash. I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to offend everybody in the West, but I'm going to have the Rangers winning that. And they're pretty much, there's a lot of parity there. And the Mariners creeping up and winning the wild card there.
The only way the Mariners make the wild card is if their pitching holds up. They have one of the best pitchers in baseball, best starting five, one of the best starting five in baseball. But there's always a but. They did pitch the most innings last year, so that's a big. And they had no real injuries last year, so I'm gonna give you a little insight quickly again. Like, all right, I know you said the Mariners getting the last spot.
Right.
I'm gonna go out there and say the Orioles get the last spot.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that, but I just think that the Orioles, I mean, they're strong. I mean, listen to me. It can be. You're probably right because, I mean, the West is really weak, and the Orioles are young. I thought they maybe can battle the Red Sox out, so maybe you're right. Maybe I'll rethink that, and maybe you're right. Maybe the Mariners won't make it. It'll be the Orioles, but who knows? But one thing I do want to say to all our viewers out there, subscribers, email us at brooklynbrotherssportstalk@gmail.com. If you have something you want to hear about, it doesn't matter what sport it is, a specific player, maybe it's not baseball, maybe it's not hockey or basketball, maybe it's UFC. You can, maybe next week we'll have some people call in. Maybe we'll have some people, one or two people as guests who actually email us something and we think it's really interesting. We'll put them on our podcast. What do you think, Ed?
Yeah, we're looking to go live soon as well. And here's a quick shout out before we go.
What's that?
We're coming out soon with Brooklyn Talk.
Oh yeah, our other channel. Basically, we talked about it. We're going to start another channel called Brooklyn Brothers Talk, and talk like Brooklyn. Brooklyn Brothers Talk. Let's talk about it. We're going to hit the streets. Hey, tell us about it. It was your idea. Tell us about it a little bit. What do you want to do?
Yeah, we're going to hit the streets of New York City, Manhattan. We're going to go around Times Square, maybe 34th Street, next to Madison Square Garden, but mostly Times Square. Different topics, politics, just every day talking to people that's tourists, see how they're liking the New York experience. We'll let you know, but that's coming really soon, and we're very excited about that.
Yeah, I believe a few weeks. We're trying to work some kinks out. Topic wise, how to approach people. I mean, I don't want to copy everybody else, but that seems like a thing that people like to do. Go out on the streets, interact with people. And people are seeing that.
I think it's going to be fun, and it's going to be amusing, and it's going to be like, wow. We're going to get.
Yeah,
people...
I mean, we have to still figure out a format of. We're both going to be interviewing, or would maybe Ed will interview a few people first, then we'll cut to me and I'll interview other people on different topics.
Yeah, just want to
let's be honest. Politics. I don't want to talk about politics. It's kind of hard. Politics. You get to fights with people. Then we're Brooklyn brothers. We don't want to start getting violent on our podcast.
Well, that's why we're going to talk about politics. We're going to see, it's not just, we're going to go back and forth with people. But
you talk about it. I'm not going to get into that because I'm short-tempered when it comes to politics.
Yeah, it's Brooklyn Talk, TAWK. Anyhow,
it's the Brooklyn Brothers Talk. That'll be. I already have a website up for it. Not actually a website, a YouTube page. But of course, we didn't start it yet, so
it's coming soon.
A couple weeks.
We'll let everybody know. But you know what, everyone. Have a good night. Be safe. And again, I'm Ed.
And I'm Rick with the Sage Brothers. This is Brooklyn Brothers Sports Talk. Ciao. Until next time.
Ciao, ciao.
Here, forget about it. Oh! Brooklyn Brothers Sports Talk. Forget about it. Oh!